Hi, my name is Cameron Cole, and I am the author of Therefore I Have Hope, 12 Truths That Comfort, Sustain, and Redeem in Tragedy. I wrote Therefore I Have Hope, and I'm doing these videos to offer hope to people who are in the midst of their worst nightmare. Now, something that is a common experience that a lot of people feel when they're going through a tragedy or they're going through just a horrible season of pain and suffering is they really kind of have this sense that they don't want to be on earth. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about being suicidal. I'm talking about this sense of, man, if today was the day that God called me home, I would be happy to get out of here. And I know that for a lot of people, going through the coronavirus, there is this sense of, man, if this was the day, I would be okay. Because for so many people, they have been suffering an illness, or they have been trapped in their apartment or their house for weeks and weeks, and it's just such a long suffering grind to go through. And so it's not abnormal for people to kind of want out. John Claypool, in his book Tracts of a Fellow Sufferer, he wrote, "Now that I'm here, please stop the world. I want to get off." And I know for myself, after my son died back in 2013, I can remember a day where I was so depressed. It was cold, it was dark and cloudy the whole day, and I just kind of walked around and the neighborhood with sweats on, unshaven, no shower, looking like a vagrant. And I just was like, man, I don't want to be here. I just do not want to be on earth. And so there was this thing that kind of kept me holding on. And when I would think about, do I want to get hit by a bus? Like, do I want to check out or whatnot? And the thing that would come back to me is that no, like, God has things for me to do. Like, I have a family. I want to take care of my kids. I want to take care of my wife. I have people who don't know the Lord that I want to share the gospel with. There are people who are suffering, and the one thing that really kept me hanging on was the hope of being able to serve people, to being able to serve the Lord. And as time went on, what I found is that my tragedy of being a person who lost a child became a gateway through which I could minister to and offer comfort to other people who had lost children. And so that one of the terms I use in Therefore I Have Hope is I say that your wounds become your credentials. Your wounds become your credentials. If you're a person who has gone through infertility or a divorce, or you had a spouse pass away, you struggle with diabetes or depression or some other form of mental illness, like, you have credentials. You have credentials that one day you'll be able to use to serve and love and encourage others who are going through that same thing, because you have special credibility because of your wounds. Those wounds give you credentials into the pain and the suffering of other people. The Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, he writes this to the same effect. He says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our affliction, so that we may be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God." And so basically he's saying that God comforts us so that we can take that same comfort, the same comfort we received through the redemption and the healing that Christ did in our lives in the midst of our worst nightmare, and we can take that same comfort to other people. And we can tell them we've come out on the other side. And so it's one of those things where you have to exercise some wisdom. You don't want to jump right into this right away because a lot of times we can use the cause of our wound, or the cause of helping others in the same situation, really as an idol to try to heal ourselves. But in time, after we have trusted God to heal us, after God has brought us comfort and brought us to a place of greater wholeness, well, then you now have an incredible credential by which you can help other people, and you can tell them your story, and you can tell them about how God met you and God helped you and God redeemed you. And so I want you to know that your suffering is not meaningless. Your suffering is not meaningless, and that God very well may be shaping and crafting you into a person who offers hope and healing to dozens and dozens of other people who are in your same situation down the road. God has plans for the future for your suffering. I hope this is helpful, and I hope you know that there is hope in Christ.